Welcome
as always
to the Salt and Pepper Show. We're the realest of things. In this episode, we'll be talking about Dylann Roof's sentencing.
Oh yeah, it's been a long time coming. It's about time. I mean, they should have sent this guy to death 2 or 3 years ago. You know, it's been 3 years. I mean, come on, justice system, get it together.
Yeah, so you gotta think, this dude's a racist. This dude doesn't like African American, blacks, or Hispanics. It's like,
It was obvious for his reasons for killing people. He explicitly said that you are raping our women, you are taking over our country. What kind of shit is that?
the kind of shit that we wipe our asses with. So you gotta think, what we gotta understand is that this dude is crazy, just like the Florida shooter. It's like a lot of people blame Donald Trump for all this foolishness, but it's like society is like kicking all these losers out of town. It's like we don't know what's going on, but a lot of people, this world comes up with like these rankings. If people are like losers or like lower rankings, they kick them out, they exclude them. So all these shooters have one thing in common: they were losers,
Evil as hell.
and they don't even. It's like society. We all blame Donald Trump for our messes. Which, number one, we should blame our own society, because we can't. Because all the popular kind of people is like, oh, I'm number one. It's like, get the fuck out of here, McDammit. It's like,
To be honest with you, this happened way before Donald Trump was even elected. So
yeah, it's
I don't know what the fuck was going on in Dylann Roof's mind, going to a church shooting all those innocent people. Why? Well, why, man? Because you want to start a race war, you say? Oh no!
You get that?
Oh no! I'm a white guy. I'm just gonna.
Look, I'm white. I don't believe in racist. So we're all people, and
We all bleed the same, people.
yes. And also, back to the thing about why, why we blame society for this ruckus is because the losers out there, they're human beings too. And if they feel, they get isolated from everybody in school, because you gotta be this, you gotta be this. They don't love being themselves,
It's a real shame.
It is. So it's like, what we could do is like include everybody, because if you isolate someone for a long period of time, they will lose their mind. And like probably like the school shooter and Dylann Roof, they got so isolated enough they may want to like shoot their enemies who bullied them in school, may shoot them, or to prove a point. It's like, I'm dangerous, I could do that kind of stuff, and killing people just to prove a point. And we're like blaming the president, we're blaming somebody else, which we need to blame our own society. So,
well, anyway, back to the main story. Mr. Sawyer does have a point about that. But going back to Dylann Roof sentencing, it's been almost 3 years since this has happened, and finally the federal courts has finally indicted him on all 33 counts of murder. He's finally being sentenced to death, people.
Okay.
It's about time to get this monster out of here. Send his ass to oblivion. It's about damn time. In court he said he represented himself. He didn't show any remorse and anything like that. It was, it's been a long time coming, and all the victims who had to deal with this ordeal can finally lay their fears to rest, knowing that this monster is about to be sent to the next dimension. One way, of course. But anyway, what are your thoughts on this, Mr. Salt?
So, on my behalf, fuck the racist. They're like greedy bastards. And I'm glad that we were able to take his life, because our tax dollars are paying for his food. And our recent research, South Carolina did not want his ass anymore. So they flew him or drove him to Indiana to a federal prison in Terre Haute. Mary Jane, don't do that.
Well, anyway, Dylann Roof, which I call a bastard, the motherfucker is incorrigible. And since he can never get a job anyway with his crimes, he might as well be expurgated from life. I wish him well. In the pits of hell, he goes. What an ass.
And I don't, yeah, I agree he should die and stuff because, if like I've said before, you live by the gun, you die by the gun. So, I hope he's able to find his faith in Jesus before it's too late, because we got to put it in perspective that each one of us, God is going to look down at us and he's going to judge us. Or for us to we're glad that motherfucker is going to hell. That's wrong. We just hope the best that he's able to become to death, because he knows when he's going to die. And that will be the most terrifying thing to see, because I work for the funeral home as well, and for everybody's different, and I've seen a lot of differences in how people cope with death. So it's like he should have not done what he've done. It's like he should have had an attorney. He should have at least apologized to the family. And plus, this is a church where they saw him as a person. Of course, that dude's white, and this was a black church, and they didn't care that he was white. They welcomed him into their church, and look how he repays them. I mean, that's sickening. He should go to a lunatic asylum or something.
And to think there are people who could actually commit such a heinous act, such as this, it's real crazy. I can't even fathom who would do something like this. I know that racism still exists, but to this degree, I can only imagine what the victims are still going through, knowing that they'll never see their family members again due to this bastard right here. And if it was up to me, I would stick my size 15 shoes up his narrow ass.
Take it in the butt.
So far to even surgeons couldn't remove my shoe. But anyway, I mean, what are your thoughts on this? What would you do to his narrow ass?
I'll blame him because it makes the South Carolina, they removed the Confederate flag. I mean, a lot of people think that flag is racist. It's actually not racist. It's actually history. And people are like destroying things. And look at this society. Have you noticed that? This is my opinion, that America have narrowed down to faggots and black people, and it's like they're getting rights. Stop laughing. So let me explain to you what do I mean by that. It's like all these people are like, I'm sorry that, this is my opinion, but look how different kinds of race. It's like the wall of Donald Trump, It's like the Hispanics, they did not have riots, they did not have stuff, but these gay people, you know what gay people do? They make little boys in bikinis and dance around these gay festivals and shit, because I know one of my fans out there asked me, hey, go do some observation to see what they do. And yes, it's pedophilia. That's what I see in gay people. But you got to respect them at the same time, because we need to bring this world to a peace and respect that all lives matter. Everybody should live to the fullest, and everybody should get treated the same. So, what do you have to say about that?
Well, gays, what I have to say about gays, let them do, what they do. I'm not for what gay people do, that doesn't give me the right to go out hurting anyone, that's giving me the right to take a gay person's life just because I don't like what the gay person is doing. You don't see me go around shooting up gay folks, no. It makes no sense at all. What are your thoughts on that, Mr. Salt?
I think as long as they do, I don't care if I see two guys kissing. I just walk past, have fun. Then it's like, if they come and start harassing me is like, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
not-
have a problem. We'll have a huge problem there.
Yeah, and also I hate the pedophilia that's been going on. Because if we continue living this lifestyle, you know that this country will be taken over by faggots. And it'll be okay then soon, from a source, from a fan, that pedophilia will be normal.
It's
like-
not. It's sickening. Come on, who wants a Mr. Herbert in every neighborhood? I know I damn sure don't.
Yeah, it's like, I don't want none of that nonsense.
Alright, y'all.
Alright, peace out, bro.
I'll be easy.
Alright.
Farewell, gentlemen.
See you 210 chain.
Alright, so back to this Dylann Roof. I mean, and he's like he been raped by black men in jail. From a source that I've read online, that when he first got arrested, he went right into the booty shack. All you be hearing is this.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, like an applause. Personally, you know what I think they should do is get a Confederate flag, stick it up his ass, and hang him out to dry one time
Yeah.
for a couple of days, and feed him Gerber baby food. And say, look at this bastard here. We're gonna stick this up your ass and have you a Confederate flag up your ass, like a Hancock movie. Yeah,
Be eating
finish him.
and like baby food. It's
Feed
like,
his ass baby food. Cause get his teeth knocked out or something. Never eat solid food again. Feed him grabbing baby food till they bring him to the chair and give him that lethal injection that he so desperately deserves.
and also, I mean, also, if he deserves baby food, because he's gonna be eating chocolate pudding out of some guy's ass. Yeah. Because- yeah. So.
Do, do, do.
So it's like this whole racial thing needs to go in the trash. And my advice on our both advice is, if y'all going to blame someone, blame yourselves, because I'm sick of looking on the news. Is like Donald Trump is doing this, doing that, and etc. Y'all need to look at the community, you know? So,
Yeah, don't blame your problems on the Republicans. Anybody, get a fucking job. Do your thing.
yeah, and don't be like blaming others. Blame the community, because that's what all it is. I mean, it's like society with isolating people. Don't isolate losers like these popular kids doing, you know? Because it's like, I wasn't that cool in high school. I was pretty much isolated. But I'm not that crazy to to prove a point, or I'm not that crazy to shoot someone. It's like, I don't need to show up on, I just live my life. Because that's what all we need to do, is worry about our own selves, instead of trying to shoot up the school to take out your bullies. Pray for them, or if you want to prove a point by doing what we're doing now, instead of like taking someone's life away, because that's too harsh.
Yeah, and on top of that, to premeditate taking somebody's life, telling somebody that you're gonna do it. I mean, that's a bitch move.
It is. It's coward. You know, it's
Straight
like
cowardice.
yeah, it's like this Dylann. So to wrap it up, what's your opinion about Dylann Roof?
Well, to wrap up this part about Dylann Roof, well, I hope he finds peace wherever he goes. You know, wherever he goes before the lethal injection shows up. And I got nothing
like,
left.
I want Co.
Yeah, that's what she's thinking. Anyway, I got nothing left to say on this bastard. There's one more person that I would like to get to after we get finished with Mr. Dylann Roof here. I hope they stick a Confederate flag up his ass when he gets the lethal injection.
And yeah, and for me, I mean, hopefully he's able to ask God for his forgiveness, and I hope that they, it'll make a weird noise, if you turn it when it's recorded, but, I hope, it's good, dude. I mean, I just hope that he was able to get right with God and be able to preach if he is privileged, because he's way back in Indiana, because South Carolina didn't want him, and I just hopefully he learns his lesson, and I hope he gets a Confederate flag and a gun up his rectum, because and I mean he been fucked before, so he may need it again.
You damn Skippy. Well, before to conclude about that situation, there is one more person that comes to mind tonight that I would like to talk about personally. Another so-called white supremacist by the name of Mr. Benjamin McDowell, who recently pleaded guilty. You know, little white supremacist buying a gun, claiming in the name of Mr. Dylann Roof, I was going to commit a heinous act, telling FBI officials. Luckily, they caught his ass before there was another racist hate war. I mean, since he didn't kill anybody, he's not going to get that many years of prison, 10 years at the most. But he wanted to do something similar to the South Carolina shooting, pleading guilty to a felon in possession of a weapon. They also reports say he'll be fined about $250,000 once he gets sentenced at a later date. I hope he gets more. Come on, I mean, really? I mean, is that your hero, man? You need to find a new hero. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you, man. Dylann Roof is someone you really do not want to follow.
Because think about all the other blacks that want to rape his ass, kill his ass in jail. Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah, it boggles my mind how crazy people out there, it just... I'm confused. Like Morocco Mo would say from Secret Squirrel, I'm confused. I mean, what the hell's going on, people? This stuff shouldn't exist.
It's really sad, It's like society have never... I mean, if y'all are like bitching about why is the United States falling apart, it's because of y'all, It's even us. Like, that's why we're here, to be able to put this out there so y'all could be able to know why this earth is, like, falling apart. It's like, respect others. That's the key word. Get your foot out of your anus and put it on some toast and whatever you do with it. I don't care.
Yeah, as Goody Mob would say, from the words of CeeLo Green, you got to respect yourself before I can. And if you don't respect yourself, ain't nobody else going to do it. Come on, people. Get right. All right, I want to conclude this real quick. All lives do matter. And I believe that, every life is precious. But there are some people out there who are never going to change. They're not going to wake up one morning and realize the error of the ways to clean up their acts. They're just going to keep hurting everybody. And I believe that the world would be better off without them.
And thank you for watching. We're human beings. We're one color. We're all the same in the inside.
We all bleed the same, people.
Believe the same. From a white guy
and a black guy.
We're human.
We're human. We're all the same.
We bleed the same. So, see you later.
Yeah. Peace. It's been a Cheeky Bastard production.